All right, so this is our first soil profile field lab, and you're probably thinking, where do I start? Okay, I looked at the pictures, I see the map, now I've got these soils in front of me. What should I do first? Hopefully you've watched the video of me out at Paradise Farm. There's a ton of information in that video, far more than we're gonna need. So we're looking at old alluvium over top of residuum. We don't even get into that residuum in this profile. So while I was watching the video, I would have written soil moisture regime, and I heard that it's acidic, soil temperature regime, frigid. So I'd take the notes all throughout there, organisms. You couldn't really make out the actual grass species, but in general, rangeland vegetation, relief was minimal, something like 0%. We were on a stream terrace. And then the parent material was old alluvium, or like 140,000-year-old glacial outwash. And then if you were really listening, it'd be over, deeper down, residuum. That was Niobrara shale. And that's important because that shale contains a lot of sodium salts, leading to difficulties in growing in that region. Time, 140,000-year-old over, gosh, it was 65 million-year-old Cretaceous aged shale. All right, that's what I would do. Put my name on it. And write the date. I don't know the date. It's maybe the 20th. We're gonna guess. Okay, so the absolute last thing that you should do is the horizonation. You've got soil samples, and you've got to texture those soils, identify the moist color, and figure out their effervescence. So what I'm gonna do is, I've got the field kit right next to me here. Dump out all the materials so I can use the muffin tin. Make sure you grab the correct bag. This first week is Paradise Farm. And I'd lay these soils out. One through 6. Let's see what I'm dealing with. If you can, try to do this outside. I'm doing it inside so I can set up this little camera situation. All right, and so from there, I'd really take a look at my soil. See what information I've already been given. I already gave you structure, and you can see that when you pack samples into bags, the structure gets destroyed. So the first thing that I would do is identify moist color. So pull out my handy color book. It's looking brown. I'm gonna flip to the 10YR page here. And pull out this water bottle. So there's enough structure here at least to have a little bit of structure to hold together. So I'm going to see if I can color one of these PEDs. Moisten it up. Line it up here. Try to see where it's falling. pretty dark. 10IR32, that's a little too dark. A little too light. All right. I don't love that either. All right. Write down the color. And then I go through all of them. These ones, Horizons 4 and 5, that are pretty loose. I'll use the spoon to hold it together. It's maybe a little bit better. And write that down. Okay, so I would do color first. The next thing that you're going to want to do is texture. And all of these have coarse fragments. So we're going to need to pull out the sieve. I like to use the back of a clipboard to help me out. And I'll just do this 4th horizon because it's sitting here. I'm not going to use this little wet spoon amount. And then if you've saved some in your bag, just in case you use it all or destroy it all, maybe leave a little bit in there so you can do effervescence class on that sample as well. And so we just, sometimes you're gonna have to break up aggregates. It's not really the case in this 4th horizon. So everything that is staying in this 2mm sieve is a gravel or cobble. Let's see. Well, it's not a cobble because they're tiny. They're little gravels, but it is a coarse fragment if it stays in there. So I'm going to make a little pile of my fine earth fraction. Sort of lay that out. And then right next to that, I'll put my pile of pretty fine gravels. And now I'll estimate coarse fragments. And so what I like to do for that is, I'm gonna see if I can get this level. You know, there's quite a few gravels. And so sometimes I'd like to make a separate little pile that is equivalent. Do that, kind of break it up. See if I can say, all right, well, that's about equal. That's about equal. So at this point, I'd say about 30% gravels in the 4th horizon, which I can't write down because I used my clipboard. So I just have to remember that, 30%. All right, then you're gonna take your fine earth fraction and texture it. I like to use as much sample as I can. I know we're limited because I only gave you what was in the bag. Put that in your hand, and then you're going to add water dropwise. And this is where this texture by feel flowchart comes in. So place approximately 2 teaspoons, again I like to use more, of soil in the palm of your hand. Add a few drops of water, knead the soil to break down all the aggregates. Soil is at the proper consistency when it feels plastic and moldable like putty. And that's going to be different for every soil. Does the soil remain in a ball when squeezed? This one does. Yes. So then we start to try to make ribbons. Does the soil make a weak ribbon less than 1 inch? I would say yes. This is a very, very weak soil or weak ribbon. So we're moving down the column on the left. Does the soil feel very gritty? I can tell you for sure it feels gritty. But the way to really figure that out is take a little pinch, put it in the palm of your hand. This one is obviously gritty. Super saturate it and mush that up. I'm gonna pour a little water on the ground. Feel it. Does it feel very gritty? Yes. And you can see as you move that water off, you can even see, if I would show you, the grittiness in that sample. So that horizon 4 is a sandy loam.